Hello, my name is DeLashmutt, and I will be talking to you about the effects of weighted rock climbing. This study will explore rock climbing using the theory of ecological dynamics and the underpinning factors that are associated with the effects of weighted training on rock climbing performance. There are multiple types of climbing. The one we'll be focusing on this study is elite sport climbing. To be an elite sport climber, one must have successfully red-pointed a climb 513C or above. This study is interested in the effects of weighted rock climbing on performance. Affordances are what controls our ability to move or not move, and to assess the multiple variations of the opportunity to move. The constraints-led approach was first proposed by Newell and purports that constraints help the participant self-organize and create novel movement patterns. This is how they interact with the environment through exploration. Constraints can be seen as three different types: individual, task, and environmental, in which each can be utilized and constraints can be placed on any part to alter the demands of the task at hand. Constraints are underpinned by ecological dynamics theory, which is a theory focusing on performer-environmental relationship and provides a basis for understanding skill acquisition in sport. Ecological dynamics is the establishment of a link in the movement and information being processed for short-term progress. Then, subsequent refinement of the link is what leads to expert performance. In ecological dynamics, one must calibrate to organize itself into a new pattern, as no two movements are the same. This is what Bernstein reported as repetition without repetition. That is, there are no two movements made in the exact same way with the exact same movement pattern. Every movement has some sort of variation of another. In this study, 15 elite-level male climbers between the age of 20 and 30 with at least 7 years and 3,000 cumulative hours of experience will be selected by a professional coach from a pool of volunteers. Each participant will have at least climbed twice a month at the climbing gym to ensure that the participants are accustomed to the wall, length, and angle. All participants will be cleared by a medical doctor to ensure the health of the participants is not a factor. The initial session will consist of a strict warm-up protocol, and climbers will attempt their highest onside point from a 15-meter high climbing wall at 3 different angles. Each group of 5 climbers will have a chance to on-site and then subsequently practice the route with either body weight as the control group, 5% body weight, plus 5% body weight, and plus 10% body weight. The first day of testing will consist of 5 practice climbs with 10 minutes rest between each climb, where the participants will be isolated from the route until it's their time to climb. This will be to simulate a normal climbing competition. Then, 2 performance climbs will be conducted at body weight by each participant. This procedure will follow with 48 hours rest between each session, and the angle of the wall will go from vertical to the most overhanging. For statistical analysis, a one-way repeated measure analysis of variance, ANOVA, will be calculated for significant variances in the means of the individual. A second one-way ANOVA will be run between the groups with all analysis set at p is equal to or less than 0.05 for the overall alpha. Since the ecological framework can be used as a strong tool to develop skill acquisition and the development of movement patterns, I hypothesize that varying weights across multiple angles will shed light on which angles each weight parameter is most effective and to what extent. Previous to this study, no research has been done on weighted rock climbing, even though it's been recommended over multiple forms of publications. In this study, anthropometry in the form of weight will be the focus of the individual task, and constraint task will be the angle of the wall. Therefore, I propose that this study is to determine if weighted practice on a rock climb will affect the self-organization of the climber, to what extent, and if there is potential for transfer.